My vision will turn your world upside down, tear us under your illusions, and send the sanctuary of your own ignorance crashing down around you. Are you really ready to see that vision?
What's next is complicated.
Yo, what's good? Back at it again, your boy Dex. And today we joined by Jacobi Jones, the creator and the head genius for the podcast, The Queer and the Queen, found on YouTube. And we're here with the fine author. This young lady, she's very well accomplished. She writes for Baller Alert. She has her own podcast, TheCakeDishPodcast, as well as she just released her own book.
In the Wicked We Trust. That's okay. You almost got it. It's a long title.
You know what it was? I thought that's exactly what, but I'm like, damn, I don't want to mess this up. And then, have Jacobi, because Jacobi be coming for people. You can't slip up with Jacobi.
I sure do.
Jacobi likes to embarrass
That's
people.
fine.
But enough about that. Why don't you go ahead and tell the viewers a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm Precious. You can follow me, The Fine Author, on Instagram, Twitter, not Facebook. But yeah, I have my book, In the Wicked We Trust, actually dropping on Valentine's Day. It's only available for pre-order right now. So Valentine's Day is the big day, and host of the Cake Dish Podcast, which drop every Monday. Y'all probably seen some of my little sad dating stories on YouTube. So that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun. And blogger, of course. So don't tell me too much of your business.
Yeah, girl, you write for Baller Alert. That is so dope.
Thank you. I love it. I love writing anything. Okay. So
quick question before we move on. When your book drops, where are people gonna be able to find it?
Right now, Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I'm going to have other platforms in the upcoming weeks, but that's what we're starting with.
Okay. Sounds good. Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump into the show. So I know you guys been keeping up with social media. I'm terrible at that shit, but I've been catching it every now and again here or there. There's been a lot of discourse between the male and the female gender recently.
Yeah.
One of the bigger ones being, going 50-50 on bills, whether you live together or go out on dates and in these situations. Now, look, I have been pretty famous in giving my opinion on this matter. But, we ain't here to listen to what I got to say. We already know I'm an asshole. How do you guys feel about that? Do you guys feel like in a relationship that a man and woman should be 50-50, or do you feel like it's a man?
Jacobi, you go first. I got to get my thoughts together.
Okay. So I'm, homosexual, gay community, LGBTQIA, all that shit. But so in my world, I don't play those games. Okay. Like I don't expect anything from anyone, and I don't want anyone to expect anything from me. So when I actually just went out last night with a girlfriend to have a cocktail and dinner because she needed to talk some relationship shit, right? And she was telling me how she has an issue, blah, blah, blah. And she was with this one guy, and she really liked that he paid for everything everywhere they went. And I was like, well, did you at least offer? Like, do you at least when the bill comes, be like, okay, let's, because for me, when bills come, I'm just like, let's split it. Now, I've had situations before where it's like, I've had 1 or 2 drinks and some food, and you've had some food and 5 or 6 drinks. And I'm just like, well, let's figure this out, motherfucker. Because I ain't drink all that liquor. That was you. Right.
Don't be trying to throw me out there like that.
So I have this one homegirl. We're friends, though. This isn't dating. But she makes a lot more money than I do. And she likes to go eat at a fancier places than I do. And she knows. I know, and she knows, right? And although I always say it, though, she knows, hey, Jacobi, let's go to dinner. I want to go to this Ruth Chris, or I want to go to this Asagio's Italian restaurant. And there's some shit where it's going to be $100 each. And I know that she's going to pay for it.
Right.
And that's her whole goal. Like, she just wants my company, or she just wants to go to dinner. But I always state to her, bitch, I can't afford that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And she be like, no, I got you. I'm asking you to go because if I'm asking you out, I'm gonna pay for it. But you can't always expect that. Now, in a male or female relationship, I think that it's actually kind of a bit ridiculous. And like that women, not saying all women, but in the concept of like old fashionedness, that I think that instead of women expecting men to have this I'm the provider concept, they just needs to step the pussy up and not expect anything from a man other than to beat you into that mattress from time to time. You know what I mean? Like,
okay.
But I don't know what you think, Precious.
Yeah. So this is what I think. I had to get my little thoughts together. I agree with Jacobi. It shouldn't be expected. You should never expect anything. But the majority of the dudes that I dated, with the exception of one, have paid for dinner and stuff like they just take out their card. Now, I have on multiple occasions been like, no, you pay for everything. Like, I got it. Don't worry about it. Like, let me handle it. Or I don't know, just like a random day, like, hey, let me take you out just on some, appreciation type ish. But as far as bills go, I never lived with a dude. So I don't really know what's appropriate. And I always say people need to do what's best for their household, because don't let city girls pay your ass homeless because you around here thinking that somebody's supposed to just pay all your bills and do whatever. So if your household calls for that, your dude good with that, then go for it. But you got to be contributing in some way.
Oh my God. So I have a homegirl who is in a relationship with this dude who was also my homeboy. They're both my friends, right? But she was in a relationship with him, and he has this concept, and some men have this issue, Dex, and let me hear what you think about this. Some men have the issue where they like to feel needed. Exactly. And it's this old-fashioned concept that I'm supposed to be this provider. So it turns them on to take care of everything and that you need them. But that's also narcissistic and toxic in many ways, because my homegirl in that relationship, she was in a relationship with this man. He took care of everything. He took care of everything. The relationship started going south. And then when she wants to get out, she don't got shit. She don't got no money. She don't got no bank account. And all she has is a broken heart with 2 kids. And I'm just like, bitch, I've been telling you for years that you need to get a job, that you should, even if you do pay for everything, get a fucking job and save instead of laying around doing household chores and watching TV all day. But some people like that toxicity behind not being self-sustained.
Well, listen. On my end, it's not so much I like to be needed, but everybody wants to feel wanted. You understand? I'd prefer you want to have me around than need to have me around. You understand? Because at the end of the day, I know where that...
Well, I always want the dick, but I don't need the dick. Okay. I had to check several men. Be like, look, nigga, I want you. But I don't need.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing. Recently, like a lot of these, like there's been a whole thing against male podcasts. People are like, "Hey, you guys are toxic," or "You guys are being misogynistic," and yada 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 yada. And I've been seeing a lot of it. I gotta be honest, it's kind of aggravating.
You're right. You mentioned that to me, and I told you I hadn't seen it. And right after our conversation, I started seeing it on social media.
It's sad that women feel like a lot of especially the black male podcasts, from what I've been really, really noticing, that they're toxic because of the shit they're saying. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I feel like I sometimes understand where they're coming from, but I don't necessarily agree with the things that they're saying, if that makes sense to you. Like, how can I put it? You know what? Best way for me to put it to is to show you a video. I have a video loaded up. I'm gonna go ahead and share the screen. Y'all let me know what y'all think after y'all watch this, okay?
And I want to make sure that y'all understand that men provide in more than just a financial way. And that's my problem, because if I sit here and ask, okay, cool, if I pay every bill in this house, right, and I fix everything in this house because I'm an electrician, what are you bringing to the table? As a woman, what do you realistically do other than have sex?
Here we go. And take notes. So what I do is I make that house that you pay for, that you pay that mortgage for, I make it at home. I cook the meals. I'm washing clothes.
That's $100 a week.
Don't play with me.
I can get it made.
No.
You see the question, right? Everything that you're telling me can be bought. Guess what? I can have an assistant order me paper towels and toilet paper and groceries on Amazon. Actually, I get Whole Foods delivered to my house weekly. Meal preps is $120 and I get 3 meals a day. I make myself my own breakfast. That's 4 square meals. I have another cleaning lady. She charges me $100 a week to come clean. You are only saving me $600.
Well, child, since you could buy all that shit.
Right. I mean, this is the thing. Right. Because the thing is, like, if you have to question, what can you do for me? Why are you here? Then I shouldn't be here. Because I don't have you here. Like, if I'm paying all these bills and if I fix everything, but don't bitch about something I didn't ask you to do. Prime example, that couple I was just telling you about, where my friend he liked being the provider. He liked being needed. She didn't ask him to do that. She didn't say, I want you to pay all my bills and I want to sit at home doing it. He proposed, I'll take care of everything, baby. I can handle it. I can. So don't get bitchy later on down the line about something I didn't ask you to do. I didn't ask you to do. I appreciate you. Thank you. But I didn't ask you to do that. So don't, and in his space of, well, why, what can you say, oh, well, you only saving me $600 a month. Well, nigga, go spend $600 a month, then I'm out.
I'm out. Period.
You know what I mean?
No, honestly, everything you just said, like, if you put in like a dollar amount on the stuff that she doing, oh, you only cooking, you only clean. Okay, bitch, cook your own, clean your own, like, bye. Like, you know, do it for yourself.
So I'm assuming you are not with that whole conversation of what you bring to the table then.
I mean, I just feel like if we're in a relationship and you decided to cuff me and you to the point where you move me in, then you well aware of what I bring to the table. Like, I got to be bringing something to the table if you done moved me in your house and agreed to pay all the bills and whoop. The type of woman I am, naturally, I'm going to bring something to the table. Like, if you
financially, because when you say something to the table, I think that's that vague space that guy was just arguing about, where it's just like, well, what is it though? What is that something? What is it that you're putting on the table?
Jacobi,
lay out your expectations. See, okay, right. What's up, Dex? My bad.
And that's how these dates work. Here's the thing. I don't know if you realize this, but more so than not, guys don't normally really give a shit what women bring to the table financially. We don't, like, money isn't one of our things. I'm going to say something, and don't come for me, by the way, Jacobi. Let me just say what I got to say.
I'm waiting.
Okay?
You saw my eyes started switching. I'm waiting.
So listen. The reason this is such a prevalent conversation, in my personal opinion, is because nowadays a lot of women has very, very high standards and preferences. I can't hate for preferences that you decide you want to have, right? So there was a video recently where this guy was saying, you know, what would a guy need to be with you? And she was like, well, he needs to be tall, he needs to be handsome, he needs to have this amount of money, right? And the guy was like, well, what do you want somebody to take care of you? She was like, yeah. He said, well, a guy could take care of you with $50,000. And she was like, no. He's like, yes, a guy can keep you in the house. He can put a roof over your head and keep you good than $50,000. She said flat out, not the kind of house I want, not the kind of cars I want, not the kind of shoes and bags that I want. And I feel like this whole what you bring to the table stems from relationships like that, where women say, well, I want a man that's making X amount of money. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to take care of me. So that guy's going to eventually say, well, fine, that's fine. I will do all of these things, but let me know what you are bringing to me. What do I get out of the deal? Because at the end of the day, if you're going to say, well, I can cook, technically I can cook or I can hire somebody. If you say, I can hire somebody.
And technically, if you got her to just a pussy, you could get a prostitute. Everything that everyone is doing, you could outsource everything, even the dick. Okay, it could be outsourced.
The pussy, everything outsourced.
So I mean, the whole that's what. Cause see, in my world, right, in the gay community. Are y'all there? Y'all not frozen? Are you frozen, Dex?
No, I'm just
okay. In the gay community, this isn't really like I don't hear gays arguing about this too much. For one, right? Most gay people that I know don't date somebody that's doing worse than them anyway. If you're not, even for me, if you're not on an equal playing field of me or doing better than me, because I had a few sugar daddies in my day, but if you're not doing, just be, because then there's nothing to argue about. I know what you are capable of. I know where you stand. Now the problem lies in men and women always dating a fixer upper. And that is where the issue really is. Don't
There's
date
no
somebody that needs to
potential?
be repaired, that needs to have some home improvement in their life. If you
Jacobi.
start dating more quality people, you won't have these issues.
Jacobi, so you tell me there's
He said
no
home
room for a nigga with
improvement,
potential.
period.
What?
So you tell me there's no room for a nigga with potential.
Depends on how big his dick is, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You are a hoe, Jacobi.
Make some arrangements, depending on what's going on.
Listen.
Nigga might change.
So, honestly, I've had this conversation with people in the past. With a friend of mine, we're constantly having conversation like this. But she was saying, well, women don't like that question. But if you ask women that, what answer would you want? And for me personally, if I was to ever ask someone, what I'm going to take care of you, what do you bring to the table? I don't necessarily care financially or physically what you can do for me, because everything you could do for me, I could do for myself. Paying your own bills and cooking your own meals and doing your own laundry is not a flex. That's being an adult.
Right.
You can't fuck the shit out of yourself on your own. No, I've tried, bitch.
But I can go. I can go to Vegas, pay a chick $40 and do it, and I gotta worry about
$40.
I'm
what
just
kind
saying.
Of sauerkraut coochie you out there about?
Listen, listen. I've pulled that number out of the air. I've never paid anyone for anything. Look, the point I'm trying to illustrate here is.
You have not.
The point is,
coochie. What in the world?
First of all, listen, I want you to understand. If I'm smashing you in my car in the back of an alley, $40 is a goddamn deal. Okay. I'm not saying that's what I do.
Oh my God.
I'm not saying that's what I do. I'm just saying if that's gonna be the general, if this is what we're doing behind it, but by a dumpster, you know what I'm saying? $40 is a steal. Like, it's a bargain, goddamn it. You ain't gonna judge me.
These women? Who are these girls?
But think about that. I could go ahead and pay someone, get the cheeks, and I don't gotta deal with all the argument and bullshit afterwards.
I mean,
if I was to ask that question, the answer that I would want back is I would be your peace of mind. When you come home from work, you have a stressful day, I can sit down and I can rub your head and you could tell me what the fuck you've been through, and I ain't gonna judge you for it.
That's a good answer. What I bring to the table: support, compassion,
support. Any type of support.
That's the answer. That's the answer most guys. Well, I don't know about most guys. That's the answer I would want if I asked. I would want you to tell me, yo, whenever you're having a tough day and you feel like you can't make it,
I'm here for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna be here to let you know. Yo, it's a
all of it.
Right, I'm here for you. Tell me about your day, nigga.
About the long day. Yeah.
Jacobi, you using the two hands? Your motion was kind of like, what are you? Damn,
I only
Jacobi.
fucks with the best, girl. I only fucks with the best.
Where are you finding these half horse, half dudes?
Amazon.
Not for $40.
Wow.
That's the damn.
Oh my God, the fine author's coming for me now. Wow. Okay, I see how this is.
But I do agree with you, Dex. I do agree with you when you said the reason why dudes feeling or keep having this conversation is because these women's standards these days are high. Some women do have unrealistic ass standards. That's just what it is. Like, yo, dude gotta make $100,000. He gotta drive a Benz. He gotta be like you said, a dude can take care of you and pay all the bills on $2,000 if that's what you're looking for. So I do think some of these women have just unrealistic ass expectations. But I don't know, to just ask a woman like, what do you bring to the table? And then when she tell you what she brings to the table and it's not enough,
then stop fucking with her.
Well, hold on.
Just stop fucking with her. Exactly.
Right. But and I agree. But here's the problem with that, right? The problem is a lot of people take that question insulting. Like, why you gotta ask me that? This is the conversation we should be having. If you had money, they'd be like, if you broke, just say that. If you had money, you wouldn't have to ask me that. It doesn't have anything to do with money. It's about it's about setting. It's like when you go on a date, right? Example. It's like when you go on a date. When you go on a date, you're trying out for a relationship. You and the other person put out there what you're offering, and you can sit down and say, oh my God, this dude got a house, a car, and a cat. Nice. I like this. I'm going to date this guy. Or you can say, this dude got a house, a car, and a cat. Ew, that's not enough. I'm good.
I think people, so with what Precious said, the expectations, women's expectations, I think that like with what she said and then with what I said, right? With what I said, where I don't typically date anyone who's doing worse than me, right?
Right.
So when you have expectations, if you live in let's pretend this woman has a job making $50,000-$60,000 a year, but I only want to date a man that makes $100,000 or more. Well, that's not fair, because you're not bringing that to the table. And if you do date somebody like that, you need to be understanding that you are always replaceable, because you ain't equals. You know what I mean? So it's this unrealistic space mixed with with inequality. Like, you want to date someone that's doing better than you instead of stepping your life up. So these are meal ticket bitches, you know what I'm saying, looking for a man to take care of them. And this is just really some old-fashioned way of thinking. I mean, to be fair, the only reason that this issue is going on is because we have been brainwashed with this stigma that a man is this and a woman is that. Now, I come from the gay community, right, where there's two men or there's two women or whatever it is, and we are equals. So I live in this more equals mindset where men and women, such as you two heterosexuals, have been taught and trained to expect things that are kind of unrealistic.
Right. No, I agree. I definitely agree. And men, podcasts are annoying as hell and they toxic as hell, but I get where the conversation is coming from. I don't like most of them, but I understand why we going through that. Because like you say, it's not fair. If you make $50,000, but your dude can't make $50,000, hell, if y'all move in together, that's a $100,000 household.
Right.
So
you got your $100,000 dream. You just have to support each other. You know what I mean?
Y'all support each other. Y'all can drive whatever kind of car you want. Like, y'all can really make it. That's a pretty stable household. But like I said, you got to do what's best for like your relationship. People be so caught up into what like somebody else said. Oh, my man pay all the bills. That probably worked for their house.
Well, you know what? Let's get personal here. So, Dex, how much do you make and how much do your wife make? Ballpark, I'm asking. I'm sorry, not the literal numbers, but like, is it a drastic difference?
It's not a drastic difference. Let me tell you something. I'm not even ashamed to say this. At one point, I used to make a lot more than my wife, and I took a huge pay cut when I took my job now, like a huge pay cut. And then after child support and stuff comes out, at the end of the day, she makes more than me. I'm not mad at that.
27 kids. You do got 27 kids. That makes sense.
But here's what, and you know what? I've always felt this way. I feel like if me and somebody's gonna move in together, if we're gonna be in a relationship, we're gonna move in together, then the conversation isn't who is paying more for anything, because we're not paying more for anything. We have a joint. The minute we moved in together, we opened up a joint account. We don't nitpick on, oh, I spent more on this and I spent more on that. It's hey, the phone bill needs to get paid. All right, then can you pay it, because I'm gonna forget. Hey, the car payment needs to get paid. All right, I'm gonna go on there and drop that off later on. That was it. There was no argument on who pays what or who pays more, who's coming out of pocket more. We are a team now.
You're supporting each other.
We make
money. You're making it work. Yeah,
we make money. But you know what though? I will tell you, and I will say it's been kind of crazy. A lot of women have been getting the flack for this, and then on top of that, the male podcast, the good side of the male podcast, has been getting a lot of bullshit for it. I do kind of understand how a lot of these women do have high standards, though, because there are a lot of dudes out there that will gaslight you. They will lie to get some cheeks. They will make it seem like it's your fault that a relationship isn't working when they're on the outside, fucking all these bitches and
right.
the hell they want to, and then it's all of a sudden, well, why should I stay with you? Because I'm paying the bills. Okay, but you slept with my sister, but I'm paying the bills.
Right.
I don't understand why one, So yeah, I do understand a lot. There are a fair amount of trash ass dudes out there nowadays who want to be masculine. They want to be the head of the household, but they can't lead piss into a toilet.
Right.
And that is, gaslighting, narcissism, just bad people. And you have to be aware enough to weed that in and out of your life. You know what I mean? But I do think with what you said about all that, Dex, is through all this trauma, all this generational trauma of men being confused and warped that they supposed to do all this shit, women being confused and warped that they supposed to want and demand all this shit, is the real issue of people just not working on themselves. You know what I mean? Like, the man could get the woman of his dreams if he would be the man of his dreams, and the woman can get the man of her dreams, that she would be the woman of her dreams. And instead of focusing on those things, they outsource, and it's just trauma meets angry bitches.
Angry bitches, yes.
And I'm saying, when I say angry bitches, I mean men and women.
Oh, yes. I done had a guy pay all my bills. Like, I done dated somebody like that, and we didn't even live together. It wasn't even like a, can you? He just started to, he was my boyfriend. That's what he did. But. See, now wait, when you say that, he was my boyfriend, that's what he did. That sounds like you were expecting it from him. No, I wasn't expecting it. He just, like I said, that's just what he did. He just started doing it one day. He just started doing it. So why did you allow him to do that and give him that power? Because why not let him pay my bills?
Damn right.
Because then when you do that, though,
it didn't go well. It didn't really do that. It turns you give the power away, and now you're in a place where he thinks he's in control, and you need to always know that I can replace you because now I've bought you. You know what I'm saying? That's damn near what happened.
Let me go ahead and interject there for one quick second, Jacobi. I almost agreed with you for a second there. Here's the thing, though. If she had her own job and she was doing her own thing, no dude can have that power. He can try, hey, I pay your bills, but I didn't ask you. I could pay my own bills. I got a bank account too, nigga.
I know that. He's being a trick, but he thinks he has the power. Because at this point, you're dealing with a narcissist because he wants to control you.
Oh, kind of one of those, Big Daddy got your bills. Who's Big Daddy?
Hey, Big Daddy. I like a Big Daddy.
I still work. I still had all my own stuff. So that never stopped. But to Jacobi's point, that did make him feel like inferior. He could do whatever. Yeah. He can do whatever. And I was so young at the time when we did finally break up. It was like, yeah, I had a job. Yeah, I knew how to make money. Yeah, I had my own money, but it was still like culture shock. Like, oh shit, like what to do? I didn't even know how to go get a damn oil change on my own. I'm like, because he did the oil change. He did everything, but he did everything because he had some control there.
He liked being needed. He liked controlling.
He liked being needed. And still to this day, I'm about to be 30 and he still tries to like, every now and then he'll come around and try to like throw money at me because that's all you got. Right. I don't want your ass no more. So it's like your only little piece of control that you had was your money, and I don't even want that no more.
Listen.
So
Jacobi,
that's just how that went. So I feel you, Jacobi, on that.
Jacobi has that same problem. The thing is, it's not about money. It's whenever a guy just come and put a penis on his shoulder, he's like, okay, daddy, fine, I'll do whatever you need. Jacobi has that same problem.
How you do it?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I get it though. Like I get how women can get sucked into that. Like I didn't go to the extreme as like quit my job, but how you said your friend was like totally dependent. I 100% see how that shit could happen, and I see how it could like happen without you really even knowing. At one point, he told me like, you know, you could quit your job. My mama was like, you ain't quitting no damn job. Like, take his money. Y'all be boyfriend and girlfriend, but you ain't quitting no damn job. So
yeah, you know, when I watched like the clip you showed us, Dex, when I see things like that, I just think they're avoiding the real topic. Like they're trying to say, why do women act like this? Why do men act like this? Why do that? And it all just stems from, why aren't we dealing with our traumatic issues in life? Why aren't we healing ourselves? Because that's really what it all boils down to, versus being like, women do this, men do that, women, I can replace you, I can this. It's all just a psychological fuck. And people are avoiding the true issue of, why do I even think this way?
Right.
You know,
I'm with you.
As an individual, I'm not on the market, but had I been on the market, I would approach it in a different light. Hey, if you want someone that's going to treat you that way, that's fine. That's not me. So
that's not fine, though. That's not fine.
No. Hold on. I am not going to deal with you. You want to continue with that shit? That's on you. Take your trauma elsewhere. But I'm going to go and find someone who has the standards or who meets my standards and I meet their standards. You understand?
Well, you know, okay. So I'm a healer. Okay. I heal people through my mind and my booty. I'm a healer, right? But
I'm not a healer.
I'm a healer. I am. So for me, I wouldn't respond like that. I would be like, okay, so what happened to you to think that this is smart? You know what I mean? What happened to you that you like? I'm that, which has been one of my downfalls in my life, but also one of my biggest blessings. That I'm a healer. I'm always trying to help people think through shit. You know what I mean? Instead of being like Dex would it be like, okay, red flag, gotta go, bye, go find it where you need it. Right. And I get that. Some people are like that. I am a healer. And I'll be like, I'm like Oprah. What's wrong? What is
Jacobi, let me ask you a question. This is probably going to be the last question because I don't want to run too long, but let me ask you a quick question. Now, this whole healer thing, I've been there. I've been with people where it's kind of like, I always want you to do better. Hell, I gave someone a car who didn't have their license because I wanted them to get their license and they didn't get their license. The point is.
Oh, I'd heard about it.
I need a car.
I know who you're talking about too.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was this. Don't get me wrong. I gave the car because it was a little bit of selfish on my part because I got sick of picking them up like stupid late at night and dropping them back off at home. But the point was, I'm like, hey, take this car. My car is going to be here in a couple of weeks. You can have this one. It's all yours. Just get your license. I'll pay the insurance. I'll keep it registered. Just get your license.
She didn't get her license anyway.
And they couldn't do that.
A free car?
At some point, I was one of them type of people that I always wanted to help people and heal them. And I realized that after a while, either A, they take advantage, or B, they just don't care. And then the more you try to help them, the more they're like, hey, somebody actually asked me, why are you trying to change me? I said, you know what? You're damn right. I'm not even going to try to change anymore. I'm going to take myself out of this situation because arguing with you
you're right.
If piss me off, it's going to piss you off. Let's just not do this. So I appreciate that you're a healer, Jacobi. But me, I've learned a long time ago, I can't heal your trauma unless you want to heal your trauma.
Right.
Hello.
That's very true. Now, I agree with you on that. Now, I will. Now, I'm going to say I will take the steps to be like, hey, try to give the person an aha moment and awakening. And if the response is not prepared or receiving, then I'll shut it down. There was this one girl that I knew I saw her this past summer around my birthday, and she hit me up. Long story short, real quick, right? She hit me up on Facebook, right? We were Facebook friends. She hit me up. She was married to this dude who I used to have sex with, and she didn't know. And she hit me, and they had been married for like a year because me and him stopped fucking like 2-3 years before this. She met him. They got married within a year. They're married, and she loves me. Like she loves me from social media. Oh, he's so funny. And then they got into a fight. She hit me up and she was like, hey, I have a question for you. My husband doesn't like you and I don't know why. And I always show him this stuff. And I tell him how funny you are. And he's always like, I don't like that guy. And I was like, well, if you want to know the truth, it's because me and him used to fuck, right? Fast forward to fast forward to, she was just like, oh, I always had suspicions, Fast forward to we hang out, right? And I'm telling her, me and the girl, right?
Okay.
And she's asking me questions and I'm giving her small business information, but telling her all of this, like, it really doesn't matter what happened between us. What matters is, what are you going to do with this information now? Right. Like I gave you the information. What are you going to do with it? And then she was just like, well, but I still love him. And I was like, okay, BB, stop. You're not ready. And I don't have time to waste. You invited me out for lunch and I'm telling you the information. Now, if you want to take this information just to know, now you know, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to this shit. So I will try to heal you. But if you waste my time, I'm not going, you know what I mean? I was just like, okay, so clearly you're not ready. I told you that the man is bisexual. I told you he liked you.
Right.
And you're still talking about how much you love him. Gotta go. You know what I mean?
If you want your man, have your man. Like,
if you want to be there and be like, I'm gonna stick beside him. If that's what you want to do, if you want to stick beside him, stick beside him. But I will try to heal you because I am a caring, compassionate, loving soul who just wants the world.
I ain't that caring, baby.
He's that when he's not being a whore.
Listen. Dare you?
Listen. Nothing wrong being a whore.
There is nothing wrong being as long as you accept your whoredom.
I mean, I accept who I once was. I have changed my ways. I'm a hoe in recovery.
When did you change it? Yesterday?
Yep, last night.
It's never too late.
It's never too late for a new beginning. Never too late.
But that's gonna be our show today. Hey, thank you for joining me, Jacobi, and the fine author. Everyone, Go ahead and look out for her
Yes.
book, In the Wicked We Trust. I'm gonna link her her
Thank
podcast links below. Make sure you check it out and come back and join us next time here on Complicated Discord. Peace.
Bye.